There is a train station at the edge of a small European town. Most maps do not show it anymore, even locals pretend it does not exist. But it is still there, waiting. The road leading to it is narrow and cracked, overgrown with weeds that no one has cleared in years. Streetlights stop working long before the station comes into view, as if the town itself refuses to guide anyone there. The station building stands in silence, old stone walls stained by time and weather, windows covered in dust and darkness. The sign above the entrance is faded. The name of the station can barely be read. No trains are scheduled to stop here, not anymore. They changed the routes years ago. At least, that is what people say. But every night, at exactly 3:17 a.m., something arrives. No whistle, no rumble of tracks, no warning at all, just a sudden presence, as if it was always there. People who live nearby claim they hear nothing, but some admit they feel it. A strange heaviness in the air, a moment where everything goes still. Even the wind stops. No one goes to check. No one wants to know. If you ask about the station, most people will change the subject. Others will tell you it was shut down decades ago and that there is nothing left to see. But sometimes, if you ask the right person at the wrong time, they will tell you something else. They will tell you the station was never closed. It was abandoned. After the night the train stopped leaving, no official record explains what happened, no reports, no investigations, nothing that makes sense. It is as if the entire place was erased, quietly, carefully, but not completely, because the tracks are still there, cold and rusted, stretching into the distance, leading somewhere no one can, are follow and every night. At 3:17 a.m., something arrives and it never leaves. The town has learned to live with it by ignoring it. Doors are locked early, curtains are drawn tight, and no one looks toward the edge of town after midnight, because they all know one thing. If you see the train, it might see you too. The last official train leaves the town just before midnight. After that, the station should be empty. Silent, forgotten, but on one cold night, a traveler arrives too late. He runs along the empty road, carrying a small bag, breath turning to mist in the freezing air. He knows he has missed the train, but he hopes for a delay. A mistake. Something when he reaches the station, it is exactly as the town described. Abandoned, still dead. The platform is empty. No lights, no movement. Only the faint outline of the tracks disappearing into darkness. He checks his phone. No signal. He sighs and sits on a cold metal bench, telling himself he will wait until morning. Minutes pass slowly. The silence feels heavier than it should, pressing against his ears. Then something changes. The air grows colder. Suddenly, unnaturally, the wind stops. Even the distant sounds of the town disappear. He looks up and notices the old station clock. It reads 3:16. Halai a.m. For a moment, he just stares at it. Then the second hand moves 3:17 a.m. And that is when it happens. A shape begins to form at the far end of the tracks. At first, it looks like fog, thick and unnatural, rolling forward without sound. Then slowly, a light appears inside it, dim yellow, flickering. The traveler stands up, confused. There is no sound of wheels, no vibration, nothing that should come with a train. And yet it is coming closer. Out of the fog, a train emerges, old, heavy. Out of place, its metal body looks worn, like it has not been maintained for decades. Windows glow faintly, but something about the light feels wrong. The train moves slowly, as if it is not in a hurry, as if it already knows it will not leave. It stops perfectly in front of the platform. No brakes screech, no doors open immediately, just silence. The traveler looks around, waiting for someone else to react, but he is completely alone. Then with a soft click, the train doors slide open on their own. No conductor, no announcement. No welcome, just an empty, high invitation. The traveler takes a step forward, drawn by something he cannot explain. And as he gets closer, he realizes the train did not arrive like something that traveled. It arrived like something that was always there, waiting to be seen. The doors remain open, waiting. The traveler stands at the edge of the platform, staring into the train. At first, everything looks normal. Rows of seats, dim lights flickering above. A quiet, empty carriage. But something feels off. Too still. Too perfect. He steps closer. The cold air from inside spills onto the platform. Heavy, unnatural. He hesitates, then leans slightly forward, trying to see deeper inside, and that is when he notices them. People sitting in the seats, perfectly still. At first, he thinks they are asleep, their heads tilted slightly, bodies relaxed, hands resting in their laps, but no one moves, not even a breath. The lights flicker again. For a brief second, the entire carriage dims, and in that moment, their faces seem wrong, blurred, unclear, like something is hiding them. The light returns, and they look normal again. The traveler frowns. His heartbeat begins to rise. He takes another step closer, trying to focus on one of them, a man sitting near the window, wearing old-fashioned clothes. Out of place for this time, the traveler squints, trying to see his face clearly, but it feels impossible, like his eyes cannot lock onto it. The more he tries, the less he sees. A strange pressure builds in his head. He pulls back slightly, breathing heavier now. The silence inside the train is unbearable. No movement, no sound, nothing. Then a faint noise, a soft tapping. The traveler freezes. It is coming from inside. Slow, irregular tap, pause, tap. He looks toward the source. A woman sits near the center, her hand resting against the window, fingers lightly touching the glass. Tap, tap, tap. The movement is slow, delayed, as if she is not fully aware. The traveler takes a step back. Something is very wrong. The tapping stops. Suddenly, the woman's hand goes still. Everything returns to silence. Then, without warning, the lights flicker violently. For a split second, every face inside becomes clear. Pale, expressionless eyes wide open, staring straight ahead, not blinking, not alive. The lights stabilize and their faces blur again. The traveler stumbles backward, heart racing. His instincts scream at him to leave, to run, to never look back. But something else, something deeper holds him in place, because despite everything, the train feels like it is waiting, not for passengers, but for him specifically. And somewhere inside his mind, a quiet thought begins to form. What if this train did not arrive by accident? The traveler takes another step back. His eyes never leave the train. His chest rises and falls faster now. Every instinct tells him something is wrong. But the platform behind him feels just as empty, just as unnatural. He turns slightly, as if checking if the world still exists behind him. And that is when he hears it. A voice low close, "Do not get on that train." The traveler freezes. The words are clear. Right behind him, he slowly turns and sees an old man standing a few steps away. He was not there before. The traveler is sure of it. The man stands perfectly still, wearing a long dark coat. Outdated, like it belongs to another time, his face is a pale, tired eyes, heavy with something unspoken. The traveler stares at him, confused, relieved, afraid. You saw it too." The traveler's voice shakes slightly. The old man does not answer immediately. He simply looks at the train, then back at the traveler and repeats, "Do not get on that train." His tone does not change. No fear, no urgency, just certainty. The traveler frowns. Why? The question hangs in the cold air. For a moment it feels like the man will not respond. Then slowly he steps closer. Not too close, just enough. "You will not come back." The traveler swallows hard. His eyes flick back to the open train doors, still waiting, still silent. Is this some kind of joke? He tries to sound rational, grounded, but his voice betrays him. The old man shakes his head. Slowly, "No one who boards it leaves." The words land heavily. The traveler feels a chill. I'll run deeper than the cold air. Then, who are they? He gestures toward the passengers inside. The old man does not look. I asked that question once. The traveler looks back at him. But something changes. The man's expression tightens, just for a moment. Regret. Do not ask questions you are not meant to answer. The traveler's breathing becomes uneven. Nothing about this feels normal. Nothing makes sense. Then why is it here? The old man finally turns his head toward the train. His eyes narrow slightly, as if remembering something he wishes he could forget. It does not come for everyone. The traveler's heart skips. What does that mean? The old man looks at him again. This time directly, it comes for those who notice it. Silence falls again. He steps back, slowly almost fading into the darkness behind him. Wait. The traveler reaches out slightly, but the man raises a hand, stopping him. If you value your life. A pause, walk away. The traveler blinks, and in that single moment, the old man is gone. No footsteps, no sound, just empty space where he stood. The traveler spins around, looking into the darkness. But there is no one there. Only the station and the train still waiting. The doors still open, as if nothing happened. As if no warning was ever given. The traveler stands alone again, caught between two choices, leave or step forward. And the worst part is that the train has not moved. Because it is not in a hurry. It knows he has not decided yet. The traveler stands frozen between the platform and the train. The old man is gone, but his words remain echoing. You will not come back. The traveler swallows hard, his body tells him to leave. To turn around, to run. To never look back. But something else begins. To grow, quiet, deep. A pull. He tries to ignore it. Takes a step backward, away from the train. But the moment his foot touches the ground, it feels wrong. Heavy, like the platform itself is resisting him. He frowns, breathing uneven. Then slowly he looks back at the train. The doors are still open. Waiting. The light inside flickers again. Soft, rhythmic, like a signal. His heart begins to beat in sync with it. Slow at first, then faster, his fingers tighten around his bag. He tells himself this is nothing. Just fear, just imagination, but the feeling does not stop. It grows stronger, like something inside him is being pulled forward step by step. He moves closer, not fully aware of why each step feels easier than the last. The resistance behind him fades. The closer he gets, the quieter the world becomes. No wind, no sound, no thoughts, only the train, only the open, doors, only that strange feeling, calling him, inviting him, welcoming him. He stops just inches away from the entrance, his reflection faintly visible in the dark glass. But something is wrong. The reflection does not move exactly with him. It lags just slightly. He stares at it, confused. Then the light flickers again, and for a split second, his reflection is gone, replaced by something else. A silhouette standing inside the train, watching him. The light returns and his reflection is normal again. The traveler stumbles back half a step, heart pounding, mind racing. That was not real. It could not be. He shakes his head, trying to break the feeling, trying to think clearly, but the pull returns, stronger now, almost overwhelming. The train is no longer just there. It feels aware, like it is focused on him, waiting for one thing. A choice. His breathing slows, not because he is calm, but because something inside him is taking over, dulling the fear, silencing the warning, replacing it with something else, curiosity or something darker. He looks once more into the empty station behind him. There is nothing there, no escape, no safety, no reason to stay. Then slowly, he turns back toward the train. His hand rises almost on its own, reaching toward the cold metal beside the door. He hesitates just for a second, the last moment where he can still walk away. Then, without fully realizing it, he takes one final step forward, crossing the threshold into the train. The moment he steps inside, the air changes, cold, heavy. Still, the sounds of the outside world disappear completely, as if the station never existed. The traveler pauses just inside the doorway, his hand still close to the metal frame, almost expecting something to pull him, and back, but nothing does. The train remains silent. He slowly looks around. The interior is dimly lit. Flickering lights hum softly above, casting long, unnatural shadows. The seats are old, worn fabric, faded patterns like they belong to another time, and the passengers. They are still there, sitting exactly as before, unmoving, unbreathing. The traveler takes a cautious step forward. His shoes make almost no sound, as if the floor absorbs it. He glances toward the nearest figure, a man sitting by the aisle, head slightly tilted, eyes open but unfocused. The traveler leans in slightly, trying to see him clearly, but the same problem returns. The face refuses to stay sharp, like it is shifting just beyond sight. He pulls back, unsettled. He turns his head. Looking down the length of the carriage, every seat is occupied, every figure perfectly still, all facing forward, all silent. The lights flicker again, and this time they stay dim longer. The shadows stretch, covering parts of the passengers, hiding them. Then, and slowly, the lights stabilize, and that is when it happens. A small movement, barely noticeable. The traveler freezes. His eyes dart back to the man beside him. For a moment, nothing. Then very slowly, the man's head turns, a slight movement. Stiff, delayed until it is facing directly at him, the traveler's breath catches. The man's eyes are open, wide but empty. No emotion, no life. Just a hollow stare. The traveler takes a step back, heart pounding. Then another movement across the aisle, another passenger turning, then another further down. One by one, slowly, unnaturally, every head begins to turn, facing him. The sound is almost silent. A faint shift of fabric, a soft creak of joints. Nothing more, but it fills the space. The traveler backs away, step by step. But there is nowhere to go. Every seat, every row, now facing him, watching him. The lights flicker violently. Again, for a split second, everything becomes clear. Every face, pale, lifeless, eyes wide open, all locked onto him. Then darkness, total. For a brief moment, he sees nothing, feels nothing, just the weight of their attention. Then the lights return, soft, dim, and all the passengers are facing forward again, as if nothing happened. The traveler stands frozen, chest tight, mind racing, trying to understand. But there is no explanation, no logic, only one undeniable truth. He is not alone inside this train, and whatever these passengers are, they know he is here. The traveler does not move. He stands in the aisle, frozen, trying to control his breathing, trying to convince himself it did not happen. But it did. He saw them, all of them, turning, watching, waiting. He slowly looks around again. Everything appears normal, passengers facing forward, bodies still, silence restored as if the train reset itself. But something has changed. Not around him, inside him. The feeling of being watched does not go away. It lingers, pressing against his mind. He takes a careful step forward, then another, moving deeper into the carriage. Each step feels heavier now, like the train is no longer inviting, but closing in. He passes the first row, then the next, glancing at each passenger, trying not to stare, trying not to meet their eyes. But it is impossible to ignore their faces. They are wrong, not just blurred, not just unclear, wrong. The shape is human, but the details do not stay consistent. Eyes slightly too wide, mouths too still, skin too pale. Like something tried to recreate a human face and failed. He stops beside a woman near the window. Her head tilted slightly, hair covering part of her face. The traveler leans just enough to see, and for a moment, her face becomes clear, completely clear. No blur, no distortion. And that is what terrifies him most, because now he understands. Her expression is frozen. Not neutral, not calm, frozen. Like a photograph taken at the exact moment of fear. Eyes wide, lips slightly parted, as if she was about to scream, but never did. The traveler steps back quickly, shaking his head. No. The word escapes under his breath. He looks around again, this time with a different focus. Not trying to see who they are, but what they were. And slowly the truth begins to form. Every passenger, every single one, carries the same expression. Different faces. Same moment. Fear captured. Held, preserved. The traveler's chest tightens. His mind races back to the old man's words. No one who boards it leaves. His eyes widen. No. He whispers again. But now it is not denial. It is realization. These Mun are not passengers. They are remnants. Traces of people who made the same mistake. People who stepped inside just like he did. His breathing becomes shallow, rapid. He stumbles back slightly, looking toward the doors, but they are no longer visible. The entrance is gone, replaced by endless rows of seats, stretching further than before. The train feels longer, deeper, impossible. He turns in a slow circle, trying to find anything familiar, anything real, but everything looks the same. Repeating, extending, closing in. Then a sound low, distant. A deep metallic shift. The traveler freezes. He knows that sound, even without understanding how the train is moving. He looks toward the windows, and what he sees makes his blood run cold. The station is still there, outside, exactly where it was. Not passing by, not fading away, still there, unchanged. The train is moving, but it is. I'm not going anywhere. The same platform, the same broken lights, repeating again, and again and again. Like the world outside is stuck, or worse, like the train is not part of that world anymore. The traveler backs away from the window, his mind struggling to keep up. This is not a journey. There is no destination, no end, only a loop. Endless, unbroken. And now he is inside it, just like the others, trapped in the exact moment where everything went wrong. And as the realization fully settles, one final thought cuts through everything else. This train does not carry passengers, it keeps them. The traveler grips the back of a seat, his knuckles pale, trying to steady himself. The train continues to move, but the world outside refuses to change. The same station, the same broken lights, the same fog-covered platform, repeating again and again, like a loop that never, or advances. He steps closer to the window, pressing his hand against the glass. Cold, unforgiving. The station slides past, but only for a moment, before it appears again. Exactly the same angle, same darkness, same silence. The traveler pulls his hand back, his breathing uneven. This isn't possible, he whispers, but the train does not respond. It never does. He turns away from the window and slowly looks down the aisle. The passengers remain still, frozen in their impossible calm. But something feels different now. He notices it. Small changes, subtle, a shift in posture here, a slight tilt of a head there, not movement. Not fully, more like adjustment. Like something inside them is aware of him, watching. He takes a step backward, and the lights flicker again. Longer this time, when they return, one of the passengers is looking directly at him, not slowly. On turning, already facing, as if it has been waiting. The traveler freezes. Their eyes meet, and for the first time, he sees something beyond emptiness. Recognition, not human, but intentional, as if it knows exactly who he is. The traveler breaks eye contact. Quickly, heart racing, he moves further down the carriage, passing seat after seat, avoiding every gaze, but the feeling grows stronger. He is not being watched randomly, he is being counted, measured, observed. The train gives another low metallic shift, and the windows outside change. The station disappears for the first time. Something else appears. A tunnel, long, endless, dark. The train enters it without slowing. No hesitation, no warning. The lights inside dim further, the shadows deepen, and the passengers begin to look. Closer, not moving but clearer. Details sharper, faces less blurred than before. The traveler, Oz, slows, realizing something terrifying. The train is not moving through space, it is moving through states, through versions, through moments. The tunnel outside is not physical, it is transition. He grips a seat tightly, trying to stay grounded, but the air feels thinner now. He hears something, very faint, a sound beneath the silence, like pages turning or memories shifting. He looks around, confused, and then he sees it. A newspaper lying on a seat near him, old, yellowed, as if it has always been there, but he is certain it wasn't. A headline catches his eye. He steps closer, slowly dreading what he might see. The text is faded but readable. Train disaster at Edge Station, no survivors found. His stomach drops. The date underneath, Matches tonight, he steps back immediately, breath caught in his throat. No, but his voice is weak, uncertain, because now it is no. Longer, just strange, it is connected. The train, the station, the passengers, the loop, all of it. Something happened and it never ended. The train gives another shift. Louder this time, the tunnel outside begins to brighten, like it is approaching an exit or returning to one. The traveler looks up, hope flickering for the first time, but it fades quickly because he realizes something else. If the train is looping, then it will return to the station, and when it does, it will stop. The doors will open and it will wait again. Not for new passengers, but for the next one who notices it. And now it has already noticed him. The train begins to slow, not abruptly, not like something stopping, but like something remembering where it started. The tunnel outside fades, the darkness thins, and the familiar shape of the station reappears exactly as before. Same broken. Lights, same empty platform. Same silence waiting outside. The traveler stares through the window, his hands trembling. No, not again. The train completes its loop, perfectly precisely, and stops. No impact, no sound, just stillness. The doors remain closed for a moment, long enough for the silence to feel alive again. Then a soft click. They unlock, the traveler backs away immediately, his heart hammering. He looks toward the passengers, but none of them move. Still frozen, still watching, or pretending not to. He turns back toward the door, breathing uneven. This is it. The return. The chance or the trap. The doors slide open, cold air rushes in, carrying the smell of the empty station. The traveler hesitates, then slowly steps toward the exit. Each step feels heavier, like the train is resisting him. But it does not stop him. He reaches the doorway and steps onto the outer platform. The station is exactly as he left it. Too exactly. Same position of fog, same broken lamp flickering, same dead silence. But something is wrong. He turns back quickly. The train is still there, doors open, empty doorway behind him. But inside, the passengers are gone. Every seat is empty, as if they were never there. His breath catches, he steps closer to the train again. Looking inside, nothing. No figures, no presence, only empty seats. He whispers, "Where did they go?" A low metallic sound echoes. The train doors begin to close. Slowly, the traveler reacts instantly. "Wait!" He reaches forward, but the doors shut cleanly. Sealing the carriage, the train remains still for one final moment. Then, without warning, it begins to move. No announcement, no hesitation, just departure. The traveler stumbles back, watching it leave. But something is wrong. The train is not moving forward. It is not disappearing into distance. It is fading, like it is being erased from the world itself. Carriages dissolving into fog, one by one, until only the last carriage remains. Then that too vanishes. The station becomes silent again, as if nothing ever arrived. The traveler stands alone on the platform, breathing heavily, trying to process what just happened. Then he notices something. A folded piece of paper on the ground, right where he stood. He picks it up slowly, hands shaking. It is the same newspaper, the same headline. But now there is something new written beneath it, a handwritten line. Fresh ink, as if added moments ago. It reads, "He left the train." The traveler freezes, confused. Then he turns around. Slowly, the station behind him feels different now. Quieter, heavier. And in the distance, very faint, he hears it. A train approaching, but there are no tracks visible anymore, no source, no direction, just the sound. Growing closer, the traveler steps back instinctively, his eyes scanning the fog, but there is nothing, only the sound, getting louder. Then suddenly a thought enters his mind, not his own clear, certain calm. You are still part of the loop. His breath stops, and far behind him, at 3:17 a.m., the station begins to change again. The traveler stands still on the empty platform. The sound of the train fades completely, but something worse replaces it. Silence that feels aware. He looks around slowly. The station is the same, But it does not feel the same anymore. It feels like it is watching him, waiting for him to understand. He tightens his grip on the folded newspaper. The inked words still visible, he left the train. His mind refuses to accept it. He whispers, "I left." But even saying it, I feels uncertain, like the sentence does not belong to him. A cold wind passes through the station, then stops, suddenly completely. The traveler turns his head slowly toward the tracks. Nothing is there, no train, no light, no sound, just empty rails fading into fog. But the feeling remains. Something is still coming, not from distance, but from everywhere at once. He steps backward and notices something strange. The platform markings are changing, faintly at first, then more clearly old paint lines appear, then fade again, like reality is being rewritten over itself. His breathing becomes unstable. This isn't real. He keeps repeating it as if repetition can make it true. Then a sound behind him. He spins around instantly. Nothing but the air feels heavier now. He takes another step back and the station lights flicker. Once, twice, then hold steady when they are unstabilize. The train is there again. Exactly where it should not be. Silent, still doors closed, as if it never left. The traveler stares, confusion breaking into fear. No, I saw it leave. He steps forward cautiously, each movement slow. Careful as he approaches, the train remains unchanged. No sign of passengers inside, no sign of movement. He stops just outside the door and hesitates. Something inside him screams, not to go back, but something else feels stronger. A pressure, a certainty that this is not a repeat. It is a correction. The doors slide open without warning. Cold air rushes out again. The traveler flinches, but does not step away inside. The carriage is empty. Completely, he steps closer. Carefully, the floor creaks under his weight. He looks left, then right. No passengers, no presence, just silence. Then he notices something. The newspaper he dropped earlier is back on a seat. Exactly where it was before. He reaches for it slowly, hands shaking, and opens it again. The headline is unchanged, but beneath it, the handwritten line has changed. It now reads, "He returned to the train." His stomach drops. He steps back immediately, but the doors begin to close. Slowly, deliberately, he rushes forward. Wait. Too late, the doors shut. Cleanly, locking him inside, the train does not move. Not yet. The lights flicker once, and every seat is filled again. The passengers are back, all of them still watching. The traveler backs away slowly, breathing shallow. This time, no one turns because they are already looking at him. And somewhere deep inside his mind, one final realization forms. The train never arrives to leave, it arrives to complete what it already started. And now it has completed him. The traveler stands in the aisle completely still. The passengers are all watching him again, not turning, not reacting. Already focused, as if his arrival was expected from the beginning. The lights above flicker once, then stabilize. And with that small change, the air inside the carriage feels different. He feels it immediately. He is not a visitor anymore, he is part of it. He takes a slow step backward, his eyes scanning the rows, searching for anything that is still normal, but nothing is. Every face is now clear, too clear. The expressions are no longer frozen in fear. They are calm, empty calm, like something that has already accepted its state. The traveler whispers, "This is not real." But his voice sounds weak inside the carriage, almost absorbed by it. He turns toward the door. It is still there, closed but not locked. He rushes forward, pressing his hands against it. Open. Nothing. Ours happens. He pushes harder. Then suddenly the lights dim. The entire carriage sinks into near darkness, and in that darkness he hears it. A voice, not from one direction, from everywhere. Too late. The traveler freezes. His breath stops. He slowly turns around. The passengers are no longer still. Their heads are slightly tilted now. All of them just a few degrees, watching. The silence becomes unbearable. Then one by one, they begin to move. Not quickly, not aggressively slow, deliberate, each movement synchronized as if rehearsed. The traveler backs away step by step. No. Stay back. But his words have no weight. The passengers do not rush him. They do not need to. Because the carriage itself feels smaller now, the walls closer, the space tighter. He turns again toward the door and realizes something horrifying. There is no handle anymore, just smooth metal. No exit, no seam, no separation. The train gives a low metallic sound, not like movement. Like locking, every seatbelt-like tension inside the carriage tightens. The passengers settle back into their seats, all at once, perfectly synchronized, and the lights return, brighter now, harsher. The traveler stands in the center of the aisle, completely trapped. He whispers, "Let me out." But no one responds. Then a familiar sound begins again. The train is moving, but outside the windows there is nothing. No station, no tunnel, no world. Just fog, endless fog. The traveler presses his hand, Otton against the glass. But it feels different now. Not cold, not solid, like there is nothing beyond it. He turns slowly, looking at the passengers, and this time they are not watching him. They are looking forward, like they already know the destination. The train continues forward, without track, without direction, and the traveler understands there was never a way out, only a place in the cycle, a role, a seat. And now he has taken it. The train continues its endless journey, and somewhere far away, at an empty station at 3:17 a.m., another traveler arrives. The station stands exactly as it always does. Empty, still forgotten. The fog is thick tonight, thicker than usual. It covers the broken platform like a blanket that never lifts. The clock above the station flickers and then stops. 3:16 a.m. The silence is complete. No wind, no movement, no sound of distant life. Only the faint rust of old metal tracks disappearing into darkness. Then something changes, a pressure in the air. Subtle at first, like the world itself holding its breath. 3:17 a.m. The moment arrives and the station reacts. Not visibly but in feeling, as if it recognizes what is coming. A faint vibration runs through the platform, then stops. A distant light appears at the edge of the fog. Weak, uncertain, then stronger, then closer. The shape of a train slowly forms, emerging from nothing. No sound of wheels, no announcement, no warning, just presence. The train glides into the station, perfectly aligned. Exactly as it always does. It stops. Silence returns instantly. The doors remain closed for a moment, long enough for everything to feel wrong. Then a soft click. They unlock and open. The carriage is empty. Waiting. The platform remains empty for a few seconds. Then footsteps. A traveler enters the station, breathing uneven from the cold. Unaware. He looks around, confused, checking his phone. No signal. He laughs nervously, thinking it is just a broken stop, just an old, abandoned place. He does not notice the way the air changes as he steps closer. He does not notice the silence becoming heavier. He walks toward the train, slowly, curious now, not afraid. He reaches the open doors and pauses. Just for a moment, something inside him hesitates, a feeling he cannot explain, like déjà vu, like memory without origin. He looks inside, empty seats, dim lights, nothing unusual. He exhales, smiles slightly, and steps forward, crossing into the carriage. The moment his foot touches the floor, the doors begin to close behind him. Slowly, calmly, without urgency. He turns but does not move back in time. The doors shut, cleanly sealing. The entrance. The train remains still for exactly 1 second. Then inside the carriage, the lights flicker, and somewhere deep within the silence, a familiar sensation returns, the feeling of being watched. The traveler looks around, slowly confused, then unsettled, because the seats are not empty. They are occupied, and as his eyes adjust, he realizes something worse. He has not entered a new train. He has entered the same one. And somewhere inside the carriage, among the passengers, someone is already looking at him. waiting for him to understand that the train never ends. It only changes who is awake.